All right, vlog. I'm going to call this vlog 9. We're going to go by the number of videos I have rather than the number of training sessions I've done. Even though I labeled the last vlog as 8/9 because I got lost. Anyway, I'm heading out for my Sunday run, which is not my long run. I'm just doing an easy 4 miles. I'm hoping to be able to do the track, but I don't know if the snow is going to be all melted off or if there's going to be ice on the track. And if there's ice, then I'm going to just come back home and use the treadmill for my 4 miles, which is fine too. It's just the track is slightly less boring than a treadmill. So that's the plan. I'm going to drive to that school, but I don't really know how to get there very well. I have to use the GPS, so that's why I'm doing my vlog before I start driving. I'm trying out the Adidas Boston 10s. They had them on clearance at the Dick's Warehouse, and they felt really good to jog around in the store. They felt really nice, kind of almost like a carbon fiber plated shoe type feel to them, like really bouncy. So I'm excited to try them on the track. I'm hoping I'll get to try them on the track. The other reason I got them, because I was actually going to buy the Nova Blasts, the Asics Nova Blasts, because they were a little bit cheaper and they're cushy and nice, except for they were white, and I have a thing against white shoes. But I saw these and tried them, and I always have this weird kind of, it feels like my right leg is weaker when I'm running than my left leg. And it's because that leg is not my dominant leg. I think I have just some muscular imbalances on that side. I probably need to work on those. But what was really weird is I can always feel that when I jog around and stuff while I'm running. I can like sense it, and it just feels a little bit awkward on that leg, and I have to really focus on what I do with it. But the Boston 10s, I went and jogged around the store in them. I was just amazed by how much it felt like it corrected that, which was kind of interesting. And I may have just been imagining it, but we're going to test them out on the track today since we're just doing 4 miles. If they work out for me, great. Then I will keep them. If they give me problems or I realize they are not in fact comfortable for anything longer than like a mile or 2 miles or something like that, then I've got backup shoes. I've got my Hoka Carbon X 2s with me as backup plan shoes, and I would return the Adidas Boston 10s. I'm hoping that I like them though, because I've been saying for a while that I have yet to find a pair of Adidas shoes that are actually good running shoes. Like every pair I've tried that are like supposed to be running shoes, I'm like, these are horrible. I'm like, they don't feel nice even to walk in. They're like uncomfortable or painful, or they've got super hard midsole, or they've got stupid, like on the Ultra Boost, I think it is, has this like hard plastic thing that wraps around the top of the upper, and it is painful on the top of my foot. Maybe it's not for other people, but it is for me. And I've been saying, I'm like, I'm pretty sure Adidas is just fashion sneakers. Like they don't actually make good running shoes. But I used to say that about Nike too, because I had never had good luck with Nike. And recently I've been loving a lot of Nike shoes. So my opinions can change. But we're going to go test these ones out, see how they are. I love the color on them. I'll show them after the run. They are this beautiful like robin egg blue, and they are very pretty, which is why I don't want to run in them unless the track is clear of ice and snow. Partially because I don't want to ruin the shoes, and partially because I don't know how good their grip would handle ice and snow, because they are road shoes. They're not my Hoka Speedgoat 4s with like the amazing Vibram outsole, like basically like spikes on the bottom. But yeah, we're gonna get going. I'm gonna drive there. I have so much more energy today. I'm really excited that I'm not as beat up after my long run yesterday as I thought I was going to be today. I'm actually feeling really good. My legs are feeling good. Shin splints not bothering me. Doing good. But I've got a lot of energy today, and I predict that I will have a good run because I went to the shelter again today. I've been visiting that dog that turned up in my backyard that I took to the shelter every day that the shelter's been open for like a half hour. They've let me like walk him around and stuff, give him walks outside, play with him and stuff, just to give him some company, because I can imagine that it would be like really lousy to be in a shelter when he's clearly a dog that had like a family. And he was such a sweetheart. But I was doing that, and I decided today, since it's my dog's birthday, and we like to do what we call Hobbit birthdays, where instead of us getting presents, we like to buy some small presents for other people and give them to them on our birthday. So I went to Ross and picked up some cheap dog toys to take to the shelter and donate to them, just like $20 worth of toys. But I took them to the shelter, and I walk in with these toys, and the gal who works there, who I've been talking to, the animal control officer, just lights up the moment I walk in. She's like, oh, guess what? He was adopted. She has like a UK accent, some accent. I'm not sure. It sounds kind of UK to me. But, and I was just ecstatic. I'm so happy. I guess that dog found a new home with somebody else who has another dog, and they had brought their dog to kind of do a meet and greet, and they got along great. So that dog has a new home, and he's not in the shelter anymore. And that is just such a relief to me, because I was so worried that something was going to happen where he just never got adopted, and like the shelter filled up, and if they get full, they euthanize. So I was just really worried about that, and I'm just so relieved to know that he has a new home. It sounds like he's going to be happy. I donated those toys to the shelter, so now the other dogs that are in the shelter will have some nice new toys that they can tear up and destroy within like 5 seconds and then not have them anymore. But I'm just really happy, and I'm feeling so much better, because that was really weighing on me, and I was really worried about that. And now I don't have to worry anymore, and I'm very happy. But anyway, I'm going to take off, and I'm going to head to the track, and fingers crossed that there's no snow or ice on the track, so that I can run there instead of having to run on the treadmill. All right, bye-bye. All right, good news. It looks like there is not snow or ice really on the track. It looks like there's a couple little patches, but from what I can tell, they can probably be avoided, or these shoes could probably handle them. So I'm going to run to the nearest store and use their bathroom, or go see if the bathrooms are maybe open over here, but they probably aren't, before I get started, and then I will be back at the track to do my run. All right, I finished my run. It was a nice run today. The weather was good, other than the fact that I swear every time I hit the straight going in the one direction, the wind would pick up and I'd have a headwind. And then the wind would completely die down and go away. No tailwind on the other side. But anyway, it was a good run. I didn't end up taking any walk breaks, which is abnormal for me. I usually end up taking some. But I didn't feel like I really needed any, and I felt like I would actually lose momentum and find it hard to get running again if I did. These were the shoes I wore, which are the Adidas Boston 10s. And they did a pretty decent job. I got a little bit of foot swelling that was slightly problematic in them, but not too bad. And only on like the last mile of the 4 miles did it become an issue. I really like the fully gusseted tongue. That's really cool. I shudder to think what the heel lock would be like without that, because honestly, the heel lock was really bad on these. To the point where even though I kind of enjoyed running in the shoe, that coupled with the weight of the shoe really kind of killed this shoe for me. Although I did notice the entire run that it did feel like all of a sudden both my legs were the same strength and length. Which is not usually something that I feel like with my legs. So, I don't know, I'm debating on it. The heel lock was really atrocious though. It was very, very bad. Even though I did a runner's knot and I tried to cinch them down as tight as I could without like cutting off circulation in my feet, it's just, my heel just kept coming up just a little bit every step I took, the entire time, which was kind of lame. But other than that, it was nice to run in. I did enjoy it, for the most part. I guess it wasn't quite as nice as I would have liked it to have been. So I think I'm probably going to actually exchange this for the Noah Blasts that I was thinking of getting, and test those out instead. what I wanted these for was an easy day running shoe, just for like slow, easy days that would feel good on my legs and my feet. And I don't think that these have served that purpose, unfortunately. So I think I am going to end up exchanging these. I'll clean them up and stuff first. I always do that. If I use a pair of shoes and I return them, I always like clean them. And if I can't get them basically to where they look brand new, I won't return them. I just keep them at that point. At that point, I'm like, nah, I'm not returning something that somebody else is going to look at and be like, ew, this is used. Like, we're not doing an REI garage sale thing here. Anybody who's ever been to REI and looked at the garage sale, they've got shoes, I swear to God, that look like they have like 500 miles on them that people have returned because of their 1-year return policy. And they're like missing the insoles, and like they're just still covered in mud and dirt. Nobody even cleaned them up before they returned them. And an REI, bless them, but they'll still be trying to sell them for like $80. Like, it's like, no, guys, like these look like shoes you'd get at a thrift store for like $5. No, like you need to like lower that price a bit more for something that's this damaged and like well loved. But anyway, they did decent. It wasn't until about mile 3 that they started feeling really heavy. Just really, really heavy. And I was worried that if I started walking, I wasn't going to get going again. So I just didn't. So I think these are probably a no for me between the heel slippage and how heavy they feel. They were kind of fun. If somebody just like gave me a pair one day, I wouldn't mind having them in my rotation. But to spend after tax $114, I think I'd rather go with the Nova Blasts or the Gel Nimbus 23s, which were about the same price as the Nova Blasts. Either one of those would probably be a little bit of a nicer easy day run because they're not quite as heavy and clunky as these. But not a bad shoe. They're not a bad shoe. Maybe you'd like them more. They're probably good for people who want a heavier shoe for training so that they can train with a heavier shoe and then on race day do a light shoe. They wouldn't be bad for that. But the problem is I already have several pairs of heavier shoes that are good for that. I really don't need that niche filled anymore. I honestly probably would have been just as happy, if not happier, wearing my Hoka Stinson ATRs today. I know they're marketed as a trail running shoe, but they're kind of a crossover shoe. You can use them on trail or road. That's why I love them. They're one of my favorite shoes. Every time they get too old, I will probably buy a new pair until they stop making them. But anyway, I'm going to get going. This is turning into kind of a long vlog. I'm going to head home. I'm going to clean up those shoes and then see if I can't make it. Oh, I'm not going to make it today to return them. I'll have to go on Monday. Yeah, I'll go on Monday and I'll exchange them. Anyway, I had a decent run. I'll put up my stats at the end here. I think I averaged about 12:18 or something a mile. Which is pretty decent. That's a little bit faster than race pace for me by about 42 seconds or something per mile. So that's good. And I'm done. And I'm going to go home and take a sports bath with some Epsom salt and warm up because my fingers have lost circulation. All right. Bye-bye.